Are we live? Yeah, we are actually live. Listen, I don't know if anybody's here. I don't expect anybody to be here. Let me just go into the chat, make sure nobody is here. Okay, so nobody's here, which is good. I am simply doing a test. I want to test. StreamYard has been giving me some hard times with the video game gameplay, and I'm just gonna let it run, kind of sit here and talk to myself, which is not really that sane, to be honest with you, but I'm just trying to figure this out. Hey, oh, Yobi, what's going on, brother? This isn't a real stream. This was the only way for me to test this. Apologies. The regular 12 o'clock stream will happen in 2 hours. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm waiting to see whether or not the gameplay starts to become a problem. It's been an issue for the last couple of weeks. I've reached out to StreamYards. Unfortunately, StreamYards gets you, man, they're not really good about responding to emails. They used to be. Wow, we got 16 people already here. Apologies, folks. This isn't. Hey, Oscar, what's going on? Thanks so much for checking out the show. This is just a test. I mean, I'll sit here and you know what I'll do just for shits and giggles. We'll kind of just chat it up a little bit. Hey, Highlander, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for popping in. This is one of those streams. Was only supposed to be a test. I'm trying to test to make sure that my gameplay doesn't slow down. And you know what? This is actually where I kind of want to say thank you to everyone that's here in the chat. Guys, please do me a favor. I'm stressed the F out. I like to put on a professional show. Having gameplay is something, it's my shtick, right? I know a lot of people don't do it. And the stream itself has been working fine in regards to just being people on the screen with faces. Please let me know if you're seeing the gameplay slow down in any way. Now, so far, so good. It's been a problem for the last couple of weeks. StreamYards made some major changes to the way they do business. It used to be a free model for anyone that wanted to join the service, a $25 a month, and a $50 one, which gets you 1080p streaming. I always paid the $50 one because I wanted the 1080p streaming, and it's always been fantastic. Well, that's not the case anymore. 3 weeks ago, they changed it to a minimum $50 payment. And then, of course, there is a 4K streaming $90 version, and it gives you a whole bunch of things that you can do. Most of the stuff I don't use. Like, I don't have 15 places to send this stream. I send it to Facebook, which nobody watches, Twitter, which we get a lot of views, and of course YouTube. Those are the ones I care about. I recently started doing Twitch, which again, like Facebook, nobody watches. I'm just trying to see whether or not my speed slow down, because I thought it was my equipment. And again, this isn't a quote unquote official stream, and you don't even see me because I'm off camera. I can come on camera for a hot second, and as you can see, the gray beard is not shaved. I'm keeping it real. It's just too much going on in life to care about my beard right now. So I just want to continue the conversation to see if my gameplay somehow slows down. So far, again, fingers crossed, and I'm going to somehow cross my toes if I can do it. That it seems to be running. We're going to be covering, and I say me and C Money later on this afternoon at 12, we're going to be covering all of the happenings at the Tokyo Game Show. I mean, I'll tell you, and I'll reiterate it once we go live. I give it an 8 out of 10. There were a bunch of Game Pass drops, which are super cool. The one that I was hoping was a Game Pass drop, which is the Pixel Collection, they did not add. Which is again, I'm gonna buy it, so I don't care one way or another. But it would be nice, for it to be in the service. But the 2 Mana games in there are pretty cool. Oddly enough, though, folks. Legendary Yobi, those prices are, yeah, dude. I mean, they unfortunately, there are other choices. I actually spent an hour on the phone with Kay Asante. There is another StreamYards like service. It's a bit cheaper, But for me, and this is the thing, like I was trying to explain to Kay Asante, it's not that I don't have the technical skills or the know-how to want to go to another service. But again, and again, this is just personal stuff. Like my life is hectic. You know, I run a household, I run 5 live shows. Being here every day for you guys, super. You don't understand how much pressure I put on myself to make sure there are nights that I don't go to bed till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning writing the shows because it has to be done right. And that's I'm super prideful like that. Like if I put on a if I make a mistake talking, if I make a mistake on a date, if I change something that I didn't have my notes in front of me, you don't understand how much that actually bothers me. Like it to the point where I lose sleep. I know that sounds psychotic, but this shit is real and it really matters to me. So putting out a proper product, it's super important. Like it has to be done right. So if I have to pay on the back end to get things done, I do it. The new service that Kay had, told me about, it's really good. The problem is that it's very OBS like. It's not as difficult, but anyone that has used OBS knows that it sucks and it's very confusing. So again, because my life is so chaotic, I run a household, I work out 3 and 4 days a week, I do 5 live shows. I don't really have the bandwidth, so to speak, to actually learn a whole new system. So unfortunately, my laziness has me here, but I am going to say that I upgraded to the near $90 plan. And so far, it seems like the gameplay is running in the background. Again, apologies for anyone. I mean, we already have, 50 people here, and this was just supposed to be a simple test. And I want to, I'll shout out everybody individually. Void Rat, welcome back, brother. Crispy Rambo. Let's see. We got JB1521. Quan the Terrible, brother. Nice to see you. Chief Nagel, what's going on? Nice to see you. Why kick a moo cow? I love it. Absolutely. Let's see. Shannon Winter, welcome as always. Shameless Gaming, appreciate you being here. Yeah, Obi says majority of the time with OBS, they tend to update a lot, which, yes, your settings are never. See, again, I like plug and play stuff. Like I do these shows in advance. Usually I used to do them like 1 or 2 days, but because news changes so quickly, I simply just do it the day of. Like you didn't see the X Vlog notification pop up until just maybe an hour ago, because that's when I set it up. Hey Ruham, welcome back, brother. Super appreciate it. Rodney Barnes, welcome as always. It's plug and play. It's super easy. You set everything up. I spent a ridiculous amount of money with Sean Labrine. He's worth every penny to get all of the graphics you see. Now, granted, they're just flat. There are no animated stuff, which is you can get with OBS. Which again, I learned OBS, but like Oyobi said, it consistently changes, and your settings are just never locked. Like there's been so many times where seconds before the show goes live, it just takes a dump, and I can't live that life. So, like I said, it seems, and again, I don't know if this is legal or it's not. Like I don't want to say I accuse StreamYards of downgrading my service, but I'm just throwing this out here. I was paying the $50 and I've been with I've been with StreamYard since it was 2 people running the company. Two humans started this company, and they started it right after. If you remember, you used to be able to record and set up your streams through YouTube Studios, and remember they had taken that away. And obviously, this is where StreamYards was born. I was with one of their first customers when Gage, the president of the company, would actually email you. Now I've emailed them, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times in the last couple of weeks, and it's the same generic email. Hey, this is StreamYards. Thanks for reaching out. If you're having stuttering problems, follow these guidelines. Warm regards. I mean, it's almost to the point of a joke, where they don't actually respond to you. It's just an automated response. And mind you, they're in New York. They're here. I'm in New York as well. Rodney Barnes, yeah. Well, listen, again, Tokyo Game Show was good. I give it an 8 out of 10. For me personally, there were some, things that were there I didn't expect. And again, this is not for me, but of course, all gamers matter. And I got excited. I've never played StarCraft. I'm just not a PC guy. I'm not an RTS guy for that matter. But that's a big announcement. I mean, that is massive. I think they need to put that on Xbox, like console. They need to figure out how to do that. I don't know if they're going to. I know that there are a lot of RTSs that have made the transition over to console, and it's been done to great success. We'll see. Hopefully that actually happens. Hey, Robbie, Herkeson? I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm terrible with names, but Rabbi H, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for taking the time. This is just a simple test. And again, I cannot believe, hey, Ricardo117, welcome as always. I'm actually super surprised that we have 67 people here for, impromptu. And again, there's no way for me to test this, like in the background of YouTube. I had to go live to see if my gameplay is working. And what do we do? How long have we been doing this now? Let me see. Where's my timer? 11 minutes and 44 seconds. And I have not lost the speeds. Again, folks, just do me a favor. Hey, Abdel114, welcome as always. Just please advise me if you can, if you've been here for the last 5 or 6 minutes, is the gameplay working as it normally does, or has it become a slideshow? Because I'm seeing it from my end, and it looks like it's running fine. Again, folks, if you wouldn't mind, give me the heads up. Hey, Griggity08, welcome, brother. Nice to see you. Carla B, welcome as always. For me was, I mean, Ricardo117, I hear you. Okay, so Legendary Yobi, brother, thank you so much for that. No issue. So that's, again, I take this stuff super serious. It really bothers me to the point where I'll actually lose sleep. So if I'm not putting out a proper product, why should you guys and gals be here? That's ultimately for me. And that's why it's what I working title. I love that. I can't believe it's not butter smooth. I mean, Robbie H, Rabbi, you have a question? Go ahead, answer. Ask it. I'll be more than happy to try. Okay, thank you, B Martin. Super appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. BT Maverick says, "Love." I hate the beard, brother. I appreciate the compliment, but I this is. You know what it is also, as a police officer, you have to be, shaven, right? Unless you have like skin issues where you can't shave, you can get a shave chip, but you have to shave every day. So for 21 years as a New York City police officer, I always had, like no beard. And there are days now where I'm just like, I just don't feel like shaving. And I'm retired now, so obviously I can get away with it, but you'll be surprised. Let's see. Legendary Yobi says, if it gets out of hand again to the point where it gets bad, just I mean, it's look, I'll say this. For the last couple of weeks, when we'd start the show and we'd be live, even with a couple of guests, it would automatically start to stutter, and I would get a notification on my screen on the left-hand side. It has an eyeball, and it has tells me how many people are here. So it's 85 people here. But then it would also tell me, you'd see like where the speed or the connection for the internet would be. It's usually like a web. It's what it looks like. It looks like the web, and it would drop down to the lowest point, which means that the footage is stuttering. That's not, in fact, the case here. So. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Xander L, for the happy birthday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I didn't make a big deal over it. I'm listen, when you get past 50, it's like you're just happy to get up in the morning, and I'm happy just to get up in the morning, folks. So, yeah, Quantum Terrible. I hate the beard. I do. It's too much. I'm probably gonna shave after I work out, but again, I'm actually behind. I should have already worked out. I've been messing with this shenanigans all morning. What a pain. And anybody work out like that? Like, I can't work out with stress. I work out to get rid of the stress, which I still have to do before the live stream at 12 o'clock. Thank you so much, Carla B, for the and Shannon Winter for the birthday wishes. Yeah, I appreciate it very much. We didn't really celebrate yesterday. Mrs. Boom had she got dinner from one of our local restaurants. Let me tell you something. Every neighborhood has one. We had it's called Sestra's. It's like a little. When I say it's like mom and pop, it's probably as small as Double Barrel Gaming. It is so small on the strip mall of New Rochelle, like one of the streets, that you'd drive by it and you'd miss it. That's how small it is, and their food is just freaking fantastic. So I overate yesterday. I'm not even going to front. That's why I have to work out before the show, because I ate like I was going to the chair. It was terrible. But I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed every freaking bite. So yeah, so sometimes for your birthday, you just, you just let it all hang out, so to speak. Pause. Use hair conditioner and the beard makes it less itchy. I did not know that, but you know something? It's just I want to rip off my face. I really do. And then, of course, you can see just skeleton. And we're not Halloween yet. But yeah, listen, again, 16 minutes in, the footage seems to be working great. I want to thank everyone here for hanging out, just, listen to my ridiculousness. Again, this is just me just shooting the shit. KLZ180, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. If I missed you wishing me a happy birthday, I would just want to say that's very kind of you. I truly appreciate it more than you know. But what I appreciate even more, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that for the last 17 minutes, some of you have been here, and this is just meant to be a test to make sure that. And again, this is. I'm gonna chalk it up to coincidence, Yobi. Since I have switched over to the more expensive plan, it does appear that my streaming is running like it used to. Is that a coincidence, or is that something illegal? I don't know. I don't know if StreamYard's actually helped in the background, because all I keep getting is generic, emails saying, "Hey, warm wishes." And it's not a person that's emailing you; it's an automated response. Seems to be working. Again, we're 18 minutes in. The screen has not stuttered on my end, according to Yobi. And again, before we get out of here, I'm gonna get another minute or two. Just before I get out of here, and we come back here at noon, just do me a favor and just let me know if you have had any slowdown, screen tearing, or stuttering with the actual gameplay. Because if you haven't, then apparently the issue has been rectified. And mind you, I have done everything. I've had Optimum here at the house 3 times. I've changed equipment. I've changed every cable. They came yesterday. They figured out that a splitter was bleeding energy because it wasn't capped. They fixed that. And yesterday's stream with the gameplay just ran like complete dog, what. And well, it seems to be working fine here. So yeah, you know what, dude? Yobi, he says, sounds like something phone companies did in the past. Look, the truth of the matter is that I was paying $50. It's $88. It's $38 more. Now, granted, it's $38, but I don't care about that. My care is to make sure that your experience is proper. If you're telling me that there's no issues, then I'll happily pay the $38 extra just to have the top tier service, because the streams, they matter. They matter to me, but more importantly, they matter to you. Why even sub the channel? Why even tune in if I'm not going to give you the best product? So that's ultimately what matters to me, and it's fine. Again, I this is a load off of my shoulders. Now I'm actually going to go, and for the next like 70 minutes, I'm gonna work out and not have the stress of, hey, the stream is gonna suck in a couple of hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, super appreciate it. Again, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for all of the the confirmation that the stream is working fine. Now I can at least work out in peace. Folks, again, 100 people here. That's crazy for an impromptu stream. And it was just a silly test. Yobi was number one on the list. Yobi, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, I love all of you. I really do. I don't say it to be facetious or just to say it. I honestly, truly appreciate every single one of you. Hey, Maverick even dropped a $5 super chat, says, what was it like being a gamer on the police force? Boom. I always wanted to ask, like fellow officers or bosses game with you. You know, interestingly enough, you know what? I'll hang out for a little bit. It's fine. I'll get to working out when I do. So when I got on, I swore in 1994 is when I became a police officer. And I obviously went to the police academy. My first precinct was the 49 precinct in the Bronx. And when I got there, honestly, they weren't very welcoming at all. Perfect example is, and you know what? It's a coming of age thing. I don't agree with it, and I never did it. So when you're a rookie, right, you don't get into a car. You walk a beat. You're on foot the whole day. You get your meal, obviously, when you get your assigned meal, but you're on foot. And you're in every element. The pissing rain, the cold, the heat. It's an outdoor job. And one of the things that I never agreed with was, and it's happened to me many, many times. My partner and I would be walking back, and it's a blizzard. It's like whiteout conditions. And back then, the dinosaurs, which is what I call them, right? They drive right past you. They wouldn't even stop. And you just walk to the precinct. And that was your, I guess, coming of age moment. See, I never did that. I never agreed with that. Everyone matters, whether you got 20 years on a job or a year. And I used to introduce myself to all the rookies. Here's my cell. Any problems, give me a call. If you're nervous about calling a boss, call me first. And if I feel it's serious enough, we'll call the boss and we'll deal with it. But that's how it's supposed to be. People matter. It doesn't matter how much time you have on the job. We all start at one, right? We all start new. That's just the way the world works. So getting to that particular question, BT Maverick, it was difficult, man. It was, I'll say this. When I said that I liked video games, the shit that I got from the senior cops was like college, like hazing. What do you mean you play video games? What do you play, Atari? Now back then in '94, we had GameCube. We had did we even have PlayStation at that point? I don't think we did. I think PlayStation was '95, so it was like a year later. And I used to take off like vacation around a big release. And there was this one time I took off for Resident Evil 2 coming out in Japan, and I imported it. And I took a vacation around that release. I was a Resident Evil freak. I still am a Resident Evil freak. And there was a particular guy that needed that vacation pick off. Now, the way it worked with the NYPD is the more time you had, when you got the folder, the year's open. You pick whatever you want, vacation. When you're a rookie, like I was back in '94, when you finally got the folder, just imagine what it looked like. Everything is taken. All the holidays are taken. All the summer is taken. So you get like a February, March, and April off for your vacation picks. Whoop-de-doo. And I had a particular week off, and he was like, he's going to Vegas or whatever it was. I need that week. And I was like, no, you can't have the week. It's the only week I got, and Resident Evil's coming out. And let me tell you something, they broke my balls for freaking months over that. So yeah, it was nowadays, it would be considered weird if you didn't play games. Like if you're a rookie coming out and you go to your precinct and you're like, oh, I like Fortnite, you're gonna get 20 people to be like, yeah, what character do you like? Because now it's normal. Back in the days, I was a trendsetter. It was difficult. It was, and I maybe I made it a little difficult for myself because when I came out in when I joined the force in '94, I I wanted to save the world, right? Like most rookies do. Like you want to save everybody, right? You want to get out there as a Captain America. And on my vest, I had graffitied. And again, that I should have known that was not going to go over well with the senior guys. I had it tagged "No Fear" on my vest with the eyes. You remember the "No Fear" stuff for like the skateboard stuff? I had someone airbrush that on the front of my vest, and yeah, that they broke my balls for years. So whenever someone would see me, hey, look, there's no fear. You fucking Mr. No Fear. So yeah, they broke my balls. It was again, I look, that's just the way it was back in the days with the dinosaurs. Nowadays, it's not like that. What it's like is an entitled generation. I retired in 2014 and I was super active. Like even up until when I got hurt with my back, I ran to everything, every major job, just balls to the wall, no thought, no theory, just go. Because the point is to help people. And if you get hurt on the way, that sucks. But that's the risk you take as a cop. Some days you're gonna go home and some days you're not. And it's just the luck of the draw, so to speak. It's whoever's watching over you. And I had a tremendous amount of guardian angels because for the most part I never really got hurt, which I was very lucky. But it is the way it is. The entitled, like when I came out, you heard what I said. Like when I came on the force in '94, it was walk a foot post for 3 years before you saw the inside of a car. Nowadays, let me tell you something. You folks have no idea. It is crazy, the entitlement. It took a long time. Weekends off as a cop, super rare. I had it because I was a youth officer, so I followed the school. I was assigned to Columbus High School. Actually, it's where I graduated in '89, went back there in '97 as the youth officer. It was freaking amazing. My teachers even remember me when I was a punk kid walking around with a book bag. It's unbelievable. But nowadays, these kids, they come out, they expect weekends off, they expect their chart days, they expect to be in a new car. Like it's crazy. And now, mind you, I've been out a long time. I retired. Well, I was forced to retire. I didn't retire at will. The NYPD basically said they didn't want me anymore, and they were right. My back was effed, and I'm put together like Wolverine. If you saw a picture of what it looks like that's holding me together, you would gasp. Honestly, it's crazy. I mean, everything is functions. I work and I can do everything that anyone else does, but tremendous amount of limitations. And whenever my back wants to let me know it's in charge, it just cripples me. But yeah, it's a different world. And even when I was getting out in 2014, when I retired, the kids coming out back then were just so entitled. Like for instance, here's a funny example. And again, this is not video game stuff. I'm not even gonna put this up on YouTube. I'm just gonna delete it afterwards. But a couple of people asked. Like I used to approach all of the rookies because I wanted them to feel at home. Right, this is your command. You got to have there's got to be somebody there that puts the hand out first. I was always that guy. Same way I am with the community. I'm a handout first kind of a person. It matters. People matter. It should matter to you anyway. And when I never forget. I think this was like 2012. It was right before I got hurt. It was like a class of like 13 rookies. So, I'm senior guy at that point. I think I had 18 or 19 years on. And I see the rookie class there. So I come in. Hey, everyone. Officer Ravitch. Great to meet you. Here's my cell phone number. If you ever find yourself, in a pickle, give me a call. If you don't want to call the boss, give me a call. I got X amount of years on. You know what I got from the class of people? This. What's up? Like an emo kind of a thing. And I'm like, holy shit. Are they looking at me as the dinosaur? What the? Are you kidding me? So that's how it was, man. It just was funny. Let's see. So Blue Arrow saying that you're getting some lagging stuff. That might be you. Again, from my end, I'm looking at it. I have not had, we're here 30 minutes. I have not had one instance where I dropped in the streaming or being online. Yeah, so let's see. No problem, BT Maverick. It's my pleasure. Again, who do I really talk about this? And honestly and truthfully, like when I first joined YouTube, and my ideology was to be incredibly transparent of who I am and what I was. Mrs. Boom was super nervous about me telling people that I was a police officer, because again, the world is the problem. Ultimately, is that you'll never know all the great things police officers do that just never get coverage, like stopping and speaking to a bunch of kids or taking an old lady home with her groceries. I used to do that on a daily basis, but you'll never know that. My wife and I used to do an adopt a class program, right? We because I was a youth officer, I worked with all the schools, and there was the 4-9 precinct had a lot of them. I think we had like 26 different schools, a lot of schools. So what we used to do is we used to adopt a particular class, out of random, just a random class. And we would show up. I would do the McGruff thing. I'd get into suit, the McGruff suit, and, don't do drugs kind of thing. And it was fun. I loved it. And that suit is hot. Like, you die in there. Like, you lose 5 pounds the day you're wearing that suit, because it is freaking hot. And Mrs. Boom used to help me with that. And we used to adopt this class. And every holiday, we would make like little goodie bags, Halloween, Christmas, you name it. And for the entire year that we'd follow that class until they graduated. No one ever knew that. And when the NYPD found out about it, they wanted to make a spectacle of it. And we didn't want that. Oh, we can get the press involved. Then it got ruined, because, we don't do that for the accolades. We're doing it because we're trying to invoke police officers being good, not police officers being bad. So you'll never hear about those stories. You'll never hear, unless you're listening on this particular show, which is, again, not even a show, that I went to Christopher Columbus High School in the Bronx. I graduated in 1989. Went back in 1997 as a youth officer. Met Mrs. Boom in the school. Mind you, that's the neighborhood that I grew up as a kid. I used to work in a deli when I was a kid on Morris Park. I walked a beat on Morris Park. So that's why, like, when I went to work, it was like I was giving back to the community. It was amazing. But you'll never hear those stories, because guess what? They don't sell papers. That's ultimately the problem. Only hate-driven shenanigans, which is what YouTube has become, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Let me just catch up on the super chats, gentlemen and ladies. And we have B Martin 01 has gifted a Double Barrel Gaming membership. That is very kind of you, B Martin. Super appreciate that. Music 72, welcome to the channel, brother. That is very kind of you that you became a channel member on a stream that was supposed to be, it's not even a real stream, it's just shenanigans. I was just trying to make sure that my stream wasn't going to dump out, and it seems to be working, and it has been working for 34 minutes and 16 seconds. So I'm incredibly excited. And of course, Raiden Blade, who's been a channel member for 40 months. Raiden, thank you so much for the ridiculous support. He says, happy New Year's Day to you, Mr. Boomstick. Enjoy your day. TGS was a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'm kind of 7 or 8. For me, it was good for the Asian market, sure, showing Xbox support for Japan. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. Again, there were a lot of games there that were, well, Japanese focused. There, it's the Tokyo Game Show. Of course, it's going to be. Not every game was for me. Uh, Again, for me, the odd one, and we'll cover it today at noon, was the fact that there was no Final Fantasy 16 announcement. I kind of feel like that's a bit of a miss. Again, what the three games that we got, two that are in Game Pass are cool. The one that everyone's going to buy, at least I hope everyone buys, and that's the Pixel Collection, because I'm an OG and I remember playing on the NES, and I cannot wait to play these games again. That's a big one. I wish that would have been in Game Pass, but I'm going to buy it nonetheless. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, with 108 people here, I just want to say thank you so much, honestly, for taking the time to help me figure out what the H was going on with the gameplay. It's been working. It has been working for 35 minutes. I have not had any freezing. Again, this is an impromptu show. To have so many people show up for something that wasn't even scheduled tells me that you really care about the channel, and I honestly and truly appreciate that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. I'm going to get back to working out real quick. I got to work out at least an hour. I got to catch up with that, and then I'll be back here at noon with C Money to cover the Tokyo Game Show, of course, everything that will launch there. Interestingly enough, and this is the last thing I'll say before I get out of here, go back and watch what Phil Spencer said, because he confirmed of what we know is coming out next year, but he said there's others. As a matter of fact, Hazardor Gaming and Clobriel had made mention of it. Folks, I'm here to tell you, I think next year is not only be getting all the games that we know, I think Clockwork Revolution is one of those other games, and I think there's even more than that. But we will cover all of that later on at 12. I just want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out the show, actually the test, if you will. And I'll see you back here in about an hour and 20 minutes. Thanks again for the help. Super appreciate it. Love you all. We'll talk soon.